Do you want to don your MLG glasses and play Bomb King with style? Well then, I might just have a great video for you. So basically, quite a few people were posting in the community on Twitter and Reddit some of the sticky jumps for Bomb King. Basically, in other games you have rocket jump like Soldier in TF2 or Farah pushes herself backwards. Well, actually, you can do a similar thing with Bomb King whilst he's jumping, and also his Poppy Bomb is kind of like a rocket jump end of itself. But whilst you're jumping, you can throw your sticky bombs and explode them almost instantly, and it jumps you a little bit extra and keeps you in the air for longer. This trick can get you from some high elevated areas to other elevated areas that you'd actually miss if you only use your Poppy Bomb without using a sticky bomb to bounce yourself a bit further. So there are some places where it can be useful. The only downside of it is that you enter the other side a little bit lower on health, and also you have less ammo and may have to reload depending on how many stickies it takes you to get to another area. There are some quite ridiculous ones where you can flank pretty far behind enemy lines by just jumping this way and going miles really. And whilst collecting all the footage, there's also some jumps that I didn't know about exist in the game, but also try and include some of those ones. Now, if you do want to do it yourself, and basically a little guide, a very short one, all you have to do is put down the Poppy Bomb, jump, and then sort of left and right click almost instantly, and it'll give you a boost forwards. Now, you want to wait until you're sort of at your peak height or velocity, you're at your velocity, so you don't want to do your Poppy Bomb straight away as it'll slow you down and make you drop. But once you sort of reach, if you imagine your jump is a curve, once you reach the point where your curve is at its highest and is going to dip after that, then you can start using a sticky bomb to keep you aerial and basically just use it as like an air hop or an air bounce as you're going through the air. Just a disclaimer, if you do have a high ping, and I mean a ping that is not pristine, so I was actually having trouble in some of my tests and in some of the matches I played where my ping was raising not massively, but from say 45 to 80 or 90, like it wasn't even massive, and it became almost impossible to do the explosions almost instantly and get the direction and everything like that. Another tip is that you need to be very careful not to right click and not use your sticky bomb, because it's quite easy to not left click then right click, or just keep pressing right click and you get stuck on the right click trying to detonate and you'll basically just fall to your death. And I've had a lot of failed attempts at some of these jumps, although now that I've got it ironed out and when I don't lag, I can get to the other side of where I want to get almost every time now. There is a card in Bomb King's arsenal that gives you reduced damage on your sticky bombs, but that doesn't work at the moment. It's completely broken as a card and you take as much damage as you would do normally. But if that card is in, then this could be very much a more serious method of getting around the map and something that actually comes into the game. But for the moment, I would say that most of it is quite novel. The only other card that I did have was the air control card, which I don't know how much it helps, but it was used whilst I was doing all of these jumps. I think actually in most occasions, and not to just be cheesy, is that sometimes if you're doing a jump and you know you're not going to quite make where you want to reach on the other side, using one or two of these can give you that extra distance and keep you in the air longer and at the height longer to get to the place that you want to. And actually, in some of my play, I didn't mean to put down the sticky bomb and do the trick, but once I was coming to the other side, I could see that I was going to drop before I was going to reach where I wanted to land, and that meant that I used the sticky bombs. It got me to that end. There were two clips, one on YouTube where the person was just throwing the sticky bomb in front of them and exploding it, and there was one on Reddit in a GIF where they were looking down, exploding it, and looking up again. Now, the one on YouTube seems to work fine, so when you're using the sticky bombs, you can just aim forwards, and basically I think what's happening is you're going in front of your sticky bomb because you're already flying in the air, and it's knocking you forwards anyway, even though it's almost instantaneous that you're left clicking and right clicking and blowing them up, but it's pushing you forwards. Now, I haven't got all of the locations in the maps where these jumps are possible, and I'm sure there's lots and lots more, but I went through the maps and tried to find as many as possible and thought I'd just put them into sort of a compilation for you to look at and sort of to get some ideas from and maybe to use in every game when you're Bomb King. But again, you are on a downside if you get in. Do you really want to get into the flanks and be right at the back line because you might get singled out yourself? Do you want to go in needing to reload? And you also want to go in slightly damaged because these sticky bombs are going to damage yourself as you're flying through the air? I think those are the 3 questions that you need to ask yourself in-game, in real play, whether or not it's worth doing this. But for style, 10 out of 10, don those MLG glasses. Anyway, no further ado, here is the montage